was beyond him.
Yeah, he can't play an aggressive safety. He just what he's thinking here is, what's the pattern going to be the next 3 or 4 shots, or maybe the next 2 or 3 shots? What's Liang going to play? I think he's thinking. Yeah, he's thinking. Cover the red.
Sullivan, 1.
Near the bulk line. Try and invite Liang to play some sort of shot, but he doesn't really have one on from here.
Yes, Liang beat the crowd to it there. He was tapping the table before they started to clap.
Don't want to get this stick at all. There's a 4-ball plant possible. See the red that just released to the left. Get it thin enough. Stop it going over that left corner. Good shot. Ronnie's target here isn't the bulk cushion, it's the left side cushion somewhere near the bulk line. That's where he'd love to finish. Not going to quite make the journey. But you see why. You know, bulk cushion fine, but leaves Liang the same shot. You get it on the left side cushion, give your opponent. Well, the first thing is you take away that escape that they both played the last couple of shots. Similar thing applies to Liang's last shot here, though. Has to get this thin. Potential for pushing the red to left corner once again.
The applause you heard heralded a 2-0 lead for Graham Dott over Zhao Guodong. He's under the radar this season, is Graham, but he's been accumulating ranking points at a very impressive clip. And I think historically, not one of Ronnie O'Sullivan's favourite opponents down the years, and they could be on a collision course. After that, the chances have increased. He dodged a bullet there, did Liang, finishing so close to the middle pocket.
Just looking at the line of this shot, yeah, he'd like to get behind the green, but the middle pocket's in the way, so not too sure about that. It's not touching, but can Ronnie somehow get in somewhere near behind the blue? Once again, looking at possible shot to nothing that he might be leaving.
Liang Wenbo, 4.
He was concerned about the in-off. The instant the cue ball hit the side cushion, he knew where it was destined to finish.
Big target, the blue, off this safety shot. It's probably just a hair thinner than half ball. Would get the 3 cushions and in behind it. That's got to be his target, surely. And he's got it a wee bit thin, just a hair thin. Nearly, but not quite. See if we can get the line right this time. Once again, 3 cushions.
You know, when O'Sullivan combines potting and patience, then his aura of invincibility just thickens. Yeah, no wonder those awry from Liang there. Just hampered the blue. Don't see any way of
Surely taking the red on. Trouble is, though, if he plays this that safety shot and back into that corner, you just know he's not going to get. Leave Ronnie hamper queuing. Well, probably not. Might be leaving the red, so a bit of a difficult situation. One thing he can play is a figure eight style safety shot off one of the central reds, but looks like he's deciding to take this on. Oh boy, the pot's tough. Position maybe even more difficult. Yeah, it was difficult to see how he could get on a colour, but at least he's got the first part right. He's still in control, or some control.
Brown ball. Foul. Liang Wenbo 1. Sullivan 4.
Yeah, didn't see it there, but that's good stuff from Greg Caniglio. Obviously there was a foul, must have touched the red with his hand or cue, either way. Good refereeing. Now, can he avoid pushing a red over the left corner here? Because there's going to be a few reds moving. Yeah, that's well done.
Might be a frame changer.
Yeah, I wonder if any of these reds go to right middle.
Foul. You miss.
One below the pink there.
Liang Wenbo 4.
Obviously it does, because considering whether to take a red on.
One of those really awkward frames, Alan, where everything is conspiring against both.
Wenbo.
Yeah, it's not been through a series of misses or anything like that, missed pots that caused it to go scrappy, as you rightly say, Phil. Just the way it's panned out, it sometimes does happen. It's actually quite good thinking, pushing a red into the middle of the table. I think he just pushed it a wee bit too far to the right. He wanted it central. And they're just thinking whether he's going to get a double kiss. Playing the cue ball up and down. Must have thought it was on. Well, he's got the snooker, but I don't think he played that.
There are two Ronnies in this kind of frame. The Ronnie that becomes frustrated and basically plays the incorrect shots, or the Ronnie who treats it as a challenge. And it's the latter one we've got tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Phil. Not just a challenge, almost like a creative challenge, isn't it? You know, in situations like this, not break building, nothing like it, just different situations cropping up.
Liang's fourth scoring visit of the frame. The first three in total yielded 10 points. Gained another 8 points in penalties. So inching in front. Oh, that was a bad miss, though. It really was.
Liang Wenbo, 1.
I was about to say, if he clears up here, give him the keys to the city and make him a
8.
member of the Magic Circle.
And Sullivan, 8.
This is one scruffy table that even a maestro like O'Sullivan can't solve.
Yeah.
Asking about a re-rack. Now, this is really strange. No stalemate here, but the balls are so horrible. With 5 points in it, they've come to the conclusion they might as well start again. And to be honest, I can't fault their logic.
Before we got that red to the right of the black. Left the red to right corner this time, no. One to left corner.
It's not a good night for Chinese snooker in general, because apart from the fact Liang's 2-0 down, I can tell you Zhao Guodong is now 3-0 behind against Graham Dott. He commanded the third frame, helped by a break of 43. So the former world champion of 14 years ago now, on the verge of a place in the quarterfinals.
believing this red to right middle wasn't part of the plan, but for whatever reason, Liang didn't seem to fancy it. So far tonight, yes, Ronnie's had 2 centuries, we know that, but for me, Liang Wenbo seems a wee bit confused about what his game plan's going to be. He hedged his bets in frame 1 early on with a shot that I'd have fancied him if he'd have played it sort of full-blooded. He's taken on a couple of reds that I didn't think he'd play, and he's refused another that I thought he would definitely play onto that right middle a few minutes ago. How straight is he on the green? If it's anywhere near straight, he'll be taking the pot on, Ronnie.
If you recall, the ready fluked to a baulk pocket. Cue ball and object ball were close together then, and he misjudged it, but there was no misjudgment there.
Actually, that last shot that Ronnie played, just that black there, he did something that a lot of snooker players find difficult. They go down the shot the first time unsure of exactly what they're going to play. It's sometimes difficult to get back up. He did that there, went down and executed properly. It sounds simple, but quite often you think, oh, I'll just play it anyway. It's the wrong thing to do, so he fully tuned in this evening.
$30.
Well, that's worked. A treat.
8. $90. 25. $26.
He plays so many shots well, but that shot, he owns.
$34. Ronnie Sullivan, 34. Wenbo, 7.
Wasn't that a shame? Okay, it was a directing off, but had he potted the black into the heart of the pocket or the thin half of the pocket, perhaps the in-off wouldn't have occurred. But it was such a good pot, he didn't deserve to see the wide go in as well.
Yeah, there you are again. He would have known it would have been close to the middle. Talking about Liang's game plan, see there again, he's got cue ball in hand, a red middle of the table type of shot these players practice, and for whatever reason he's decided to refuse it. A long red that I think he would have been favourite to get. That red in line with the cue ball there. Remains to be seen, of course, when it transpires that he loses this safety battle.
Yes, the way he's approaching this, Liang, it's as though someone's pressed the mute button. He's just restricted to what he normally is. He's normally exuberant and aggressive attacking. Tonight, not so.
Yeah, I didn't hit that good. That would have felt good. But even that was it. He's playing it as a percentage shot. He's trying to leave the cue ball down in this corner, which he's got. Yes, he knows he was leaving a potential red to left middle. Pierre Liang's interested in that either. Can't really blame him. Awkward cueing, position not certain. So. Yes, that's poor. He's left the shot to nothing here for Ronnie. The 4 reds in a little bundle. 2 up from the black. That one is a natural back into bulk.
He was asking for trouble. And against O'Sullivan, if you ask, you receive.
Three. Four.
be much closer to this. This takes a nice piece of cueing. Handled without problem. Little glance cannon on the red though. Has given him a problem now. How does he hold for the next red? I think he can. Well, he can play for the one to right middle. I think he can get just enough of this red to hold the cue ball. Just about. Good shot.
$70.
These are the little shots. This looks quite straight, this red. There's quite a bit of angle on it. Got to be so sweet through impact on this if you're holding it. I wonder if you might play around the back of the black. Let's see, just depends on the back of the black cannon, the two reds. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Foul.
Played up for blue.
17. Wenbo, 7.
It really was. The chances of doing that, he could stand there all night and not do that again. But he could have turned the frame. He's not had a great deal of quality table time, Liang. Highest break thus far in the match, 16. But look at these balls. No obstacle to a clearance.
$8.
Yeah, he's coming round. Does the top red go to right corner? It's going to be the key to the top red of the two together. If it does, he's in business. And it looks like he does, the way he's addressing the cue ball here, so nothing to do, just land high of straight on it, which he has done. The good thing about being high of straight, just a little nestle cannon on the other red, which means that when he pots that red, he virtually can put the cue ball where he likes with his hand.
50.
See, nothing to do off this next red. Decide wherever he wants to be in the black, he can play that. Drop in behind the last red.
$22. $23. $30.
Taking the blue means he's going to need the pink. 13 in front. When he gets that far, if he gets that far, next time he pots the blue, not this time of course. Just want to play this properly. Make sure you deliver and keep the side on the cue ball to square it up. Good shot. Played that nicely.
56.
Was a horrible piece of cueing. He actually potted it in the wrong part of the pocket. He potted it off the left-hand jaw, which meant the cue ball drifted near the brown, but concentration-wise, that was poor. Thin with check then. Excellent. Good recovery.
41.
That's his best shot of the contest so far.
5. Fifth.
As Alan pointed out, the pink still needs to go. O'Sullivan 13 behind, 13 on, could yet force a respotted black.
6.
Well done to Liang Wenbo. That showed spirit. For 2.5 frames, he'd been comprehensively outplayed. O'Sullivan was unlucky, but reach the quarter-final of a world ranking event for, would you believe, the 119th time. That's over a 27-year period. His first was at the European Open in Antwerp, Belgium, in early 1993. At 2-0, he was in total command, playing well in the third, then potted a red to middle and luckily knocked in a black. Liang Wenbo cleared with 56 to the pink, and suddenly it's a match, not a runaway.
Okay, frame 4. Liang Wenbo to break.
I don't know how that translates into Chinese, Alan, but the English version is, whatever you do, don't hit the blue. Plenty of snooker left in this one, but that's not the case, it would appear, over on table 2, where Graham Dott is just 3 pots away from victory.
1. Eight. Nine.
The block is in. There you see the handshake. Graham Dott has beaten, nay, whitewashed Zhao Guodong by 4 frames to 0. He was 60-0 down in frame 4. Came back to win it with a 35 clearance on the black. Dott through, and he now awaits the winner of our featured match.
Half ball then, green into the bunch. Yeah, didn't quite get deep enough and get into the meat of the pack, so
20.
just a safety shot. Well, the red obviously does go to left middle. I suppose it's worth playing. The red he can leave. Oh, what a shot. That is a beautiful shot. Well played. How much of an angle he's got in the black? He's just off straight, I think. How much he can force this to get some reds moving. he's too straight. In fact, I don't even think he can force with top spin on and off a side cushion into the pack. It's just too straight.
If ever you come to the snooker and you get the chance to get right down by the table, just take a look at how narrow those pocket entries are to middle, and then you'll realise just what a good red it was from Liang. That was also good.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. That shot. That type of shot, actually, sometimes the mistake you make is trying to pinch the pocket and pot it on the thin side, end up missing the black and getting the pack. But that was played to perfection. Deserves to be on a red.
Valentina.
Over the years has been guilty of snatching on pressure shots, and this is one of those. Heavy-handed. And I think that was a result of tension.
It's a good point, Phil. He sometimes throws one of those in, Liang. A wee bit tight through delivery. Hit it smoothly. Touching ball then and behind green.
Liang Wenbo, 36.
Hasn't quite got it. Might just have to bend this with a wee bit right hand side. I think he's okay. I think he can get it middle ball. Obviously yellow and blue the target. And a little brush on the blue. Did the job.
Now, some of you, as that cue ball went down the table, must have thought, that's not going to reach. It reached easily with some despair.
He's trying to work out a four-ball plant here. I don't think it's remotely on. Yes, the last two reds are, but let's see how he can get the right connection to get this. For me, it's more likely to leave a red near that corner pocket. We'll see. Got enough pace in it to get it away from it, but one over the other corner, I just didn't see that happening. Perhaps a needless risk.
Yes, 4-ball plants are like 7-timers at the Cheltenham Festival. They don't often come up.
One. Nigel, keep still.
Well, we know the culprit is somebody called Nigel. I think it might be that the guys are getting table 2 ready for the next match. The table fitter is brushing and ironing the table. He's not called Nigel, so he's in the clear.
4. Sullivan, 4.
And after that blistering start, ever since he very unluckily knocked in the black in potting a red to middle, this match has gone away from O'Sullivan slightly. Nothing to worry about yet, but there's been a sea change.
Yeah, I was just thinking that actually, that in the ebb and flow of a match, it's different. You go through different feelings, different emotions. Yes, O'Sullivan, a couple of centuries, everything going exactly the way you'd want. And then 1 or 2 things start going wrong. You can't just turn it on and off like a tap. You've got to almost earn that fluency back. Liang fairly clearly feels that the red will go. Good shot. Yeah, gone wrong.
1. Touching ball. Please declare. Blue ball. Wenbo. 1.
With a 33-point lead, Liang putting a colour safe.
Sizing up the pot, I think this is quite dangerous. A, if he missed it thick, he'd catch the pack on the way back up. B, if he misses it thin, there's a good chance he could leave it over the pocket. Oh, great shot.
1.
Very good. He actually played it with I think a hint of check side. Looks interested in this blue. It depends on the cannon, if there is one in the yellow. Spoiled position. Feels he can avoid it.
Six. Seven.
Yeah, he's struggling for the cue ball, isn't he? But what he is demonstrating, Liang Wenbo, here is his ability to scrap it out. Seen that already this week. Matthew Stevens last night. John Higgins today wasn't absolute vintage, but just game knowledge, tactical nous, all that sort of stuff come into play.
And let's not forget that in the first round, he overcame a very tough opponent in the Northern Ireland #1, Mark Allen.
40.
Good effort this. Talking about scrapping for position almost every shot. He keeps knocking them in. Now then, 53 in front.
20.
Red automatically on the black. This should effectively be frame ball then. Back to 2-all. Oh, there was movement. There was movement.
Wenbo, 20.
It's what I was saying earlier on. He's prone to it, isn't he? He identifies in his mind quite correctly the most important shots, and the pressure cranks up, and the propensity to snatch also cranks up. Now he's happy he put the green safe.
Yeah, now can Ronnie find some of that fluency I was talking about. Get it back just in the nick of time. Far from easy, as Phil says. Green safe. Red and bulky into cinch. He's played that cleverly. Trying to get straight in the red, stun it in. Guaranteed drop pink in for the other red. Probably a nice low black off the
50.
red down this cushion. Just wants a hair of a bounce off the side cushion here. Then he can pick a spot. Just the soft bounce. That's too much. Change of plan then.
T1.
Probably up for yellow. You land short of that, you've got the blue. Blue it is.
22.
If he could get the brown on its spot, that would help, because if he does have to eventually go for a double on the green, getting position from the double to a brown on its spot is much more simple than where it is right now.
As doubles go, it's actually exactly where you'd want it, green. You'd love to try and remove it.
28.
I don't think he'll be doing that now. I think landing straight in this brown, he's going to have to just play for the double. There's the spin. Well, I can pot the yellow. What can you do with the cue ball?
32. Four.
Needs a bounce. You just get the smallest of bounces here. So for a right-hander, the cue's not really awkward. just about cue this quite comfortably. Don't hit it too hard. Yeah, give the pocket every chance, and he's left the green.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 34.
And the green should be enough. Put him 22 in front.
Prix.
Don't want to be a doomsday merchant, but this is the kind of shot he could snatch on as well.
Good call, Phil. Yes, it was. Is this going to run?
Liang Wenbo, 3.
Not quite. Yeah, that's twice, isn't it? And similar shots just off straight, stunning it. Definite tension came into play there. Ronnie 22 behind then would love to get a snooker, and he's got one.
A few years back, Liang and Ding won the World Cup for China. He was snatching all over the place in that tournament. Ding won it almost single-handedly. Well, in the last frame, a kiss on the black cost him dear. There, a kiss on the black, gold dust. Could have been much worse. Excellent. Remember, O'Sullivan needs all 4 colours to force a respotted black, and he didn't want the black to go safe there.
The brown is on then. Said before, super slick cloth. Does he go in and out of the black end, or does he try to hold it? It's the hold. No good. I don't think there'll be any mistake this time. Liang Wenbo. Straight brown then. 2's about.
Four.
I tell you what,
Liang Wenbo.
I tell you what, that was not clean. It just about went in. And look at this. What an extraordinary turnaround. O'Sullivan at 2-0 was absolutely in command. Now it's 2-2. Graham Dott already home and hosed. A 4-0 winner over Zhao Guodong. They then brushed an eye on the table, and now match number 2 on that table is up and running. Matt Selt against the man in play at the moment, Tom Ford. Early days, we'll keep you informed. As for O'Sullivan, Liang
The fifth
Wenbo,
frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
nothing in it.
There's that red. Talking about getting on the black cushion. Ideally, like a couple inches off the cushion from Ronnie's point of view, obviously. And can, if he wishes, leave the cue ball in the corner without any fear of Ronnie taking it on. Difficult to see whether he's taking the pot on. If he is, it'd be difficult to avoid the black. Yeah, did well though. He would have known playing that the cue ball would have been close to the black.
It's been a tale of contrasting frames, this. Pot success rate for O'Sullivan in the first 2 frames, 99%. Now, though, as we start the 5th, it's down to 81% in terms of frames 3 and 4. So 2 distinct portions of the match. A fiver for every time I've heard "Come on, Ronnie" around the world. You'd be a millionaire.
1.
And even when he plays in China against Chinese players, they all want him to win. Well, not all, but a lot of them. He's so popular wherever he plays, and rightly so.
See a lot of people talking, social media and all that, but the pockets in these tables, you know, the pockets are too big and all that malarkey. Nothing like it. You just need to see that last shot. Liang Wenbo struck it quite well. Super accurate along the black cushion.
8.
He's unlucky that. Tail end of that last frame, Sullivan lost some fluency. Chance here to get it back. Good situation this, early doors. Not now though. I think he's on anything.
16.
Well, the fact he's having this red cleaned would suggest it might sneak into the middle pocket.
Yeah, comfortably. Didn't know much about it. We'll take it. And back in prime position.
24. 25.
Showed against Dave Gilbert, didn't he, in the decider a couple of days ago, what he can do, put under pressure. Not as if we don't know right enough, but
23.
it's always nice to do it. He's so good at that shot. Keep the cue ball away from the side cushion. Not interested in maximums or anything
21.
like that. Match to win.
Six. 47.
That wasn't the cleanest, on the thin side, but it's okay.
51.
Just cue here, just jump off his bridge hand, does he? He's tried, not so much in that shot. It happens quite a lot, you'd think. Looks
54.
a bit ungainly, but it's all after contact, that's the thing.
55.
Happened a few times tonight, he's landed like this on low blacks. Might even play a little brush cannon off just the very outside edge of the reds. Just missed them, but no matter. Tremendous recovery.
62.
This red in another high value colour.
Does the pink go? There you go. Yes, it does. Frame ball then.
Thank you. 69.
When he knocked in those 2 centuries in the first 2 frames of Sullivan, it was the 5th time against Liang Wenbo he's made 2 centuries in the same match. But he's never made 3.
77. 78. 84. 85.
In total, he's knocked in 13 centuries against Liang in their meetings.
81. 92. 88.
88.
Thank you. 99.
Wonderful stuff. Third century of the evening then for the Rocket to move one away from victory.
105. 107.
Let's give this crowd at the Centaur Arena, Cheltenham Racecourse, a nice
110.
clearance.
And if he clears up, he will have scored
140.
tonight over 300 points more than Liang, and he's one frame ahead.
190. 125.
Pick of the bunch in terms of his centuries this evening, both in terms of compilation and context. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 3-2. Too much of a surprise.
Thank you. The 6th frame. Liang Wenbo to break.
Just before we get into the meat of this frame, let me tell you, nothing really doing yet over on table 2. A very scrappy opening frame between Matt Selt and Tom Ford.
Hand on the bed then, you expect him to stop short of the baulk line, the cue ball, if he gets close to the pot. It's a bit heavy-handed that, maybe Brown to the rescue.
1.
How hampered, if he at all, is he? Brown, I say, expected him to stop short of the baulk line. Good pot though, still just about on the brown.
Six.
Be a bonus if that right hand wing ball will go through the gap to left corner. So the one just above the black. Get on that. It helps if both of them go. Possibly not. He's played on the one above the black. Difficult to tell from that shot.
$90. 20.
Both of those reds go to right corner. You'd love to get the one that's directly between the pink and black. And he can now. That's a good shot, that. You'd rather get the one closest to the pack of reds, because bring other reds into the open playing that. Yeah, good thinking, good execution.
28.
Taking these nicely. I think he's going to be messing with
34.
topping through, ploughing through this pack of reds. He's got to just run for open ground. This is a risk because he is going through. Well, my mistake. Could get a glancing blow, so that's fair dinkum.
36.
Good chance this now. And it's almost been quite old school, isn't it, the way he's taken these? Just chipped a couple open at a time. Bringing the odd red into play.
$43.
If you recall, in the first round, David Gilbert was 3-1 down against O'Sullivan. Made a couple of sizable breaks to force a decider. Liang not giving up the ghost here. Far from it.
50. $51.
Sometimes we talk about
58.
Chinese players as if it's quite a relatively new thing in tour, but Liang's been a pro 15 years now, so he knows the drill, knows all about this type of situation. Couple of shots away now, taking us into that decider.
$66. $67. $74.
A clean frame from Liang.
Stephen Hendry's a great advocate of potting that one extra red, isn't he? Just to completely kill the frame off, which he hasn't done. So Ronnie will come back.
Liang Wenbo. 74. And the frame.
Well, he did come back briefly. In the end, though, decided to concede, and so for the second match in succession, Ronnie O'Sullivan has taken the distance. It was Dave Gilbert a couple of days ago. Now it's Liang in the decided to come against Liang Wenbo. This frame for all the marbles.
Thank you, the deciding frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to win.
This is their 9th meeting. And it's the third time actually, that they've gone the distance. The previous two deciders have fallen to O'Sullivan. 5-4 in the first round of the Shanghai Masters in 2016. 6-5 in the first round of the Masters in London in 2017 when Liang missed a frame ball black, I recall.
Yeah, just for the way this Coral Series pans out, a big frame this for Sullivan. Sullivan fans, if they want to see him, it doesn't have to win this match, but he didn't win it. He'd have to go deep next week at the Welsh Open in Cardiff. Just off the top of my head, I'd be thinking as he leaves this red now, first chance Liang. Off the top of my head, I'd be thinking he'd need something like probably the final next week, were he to lose tonight. Semis would be possible. Of course, that's all conjecture. Lots to be decided.
1.
Before any of that happens, starting now. I say first chance then to Wenbo. Very much the player in stroke as well. Nice 74 break in the last frame. Imagine it feel quite positive. That was a good strike, good shot. See if we can detect any movement on delivery. Yeah, the hint of it, but
6.
it's fine. Good shot.
The equation is the movement increases the closer he gets to the line.
Quite a nice shot he's got here with that angle. He can play for. He won't be playing for black here. He'll be playing for pink and black. And by my way of thinking, preferably the pink. So somewhere around a bit straight in that pink. See that there? Just low straight. He's not even bothering with the black. He's just trying to nestle can in the other red. Played it nicely.
4.
Checking for the spot. He'd want to get rid of the pink. Go at the back of the bunch of reds. Just the black side of the pack. Yeah, looks covered. Certainly is now with the cue ball there.
Alan, you were talking about qualification for the Players' Championship and the comparative permutations. Well, Liang came into this tournament 27th on the one-year list. Remember, 16 players
20.
at the Players' Championship. So a victory for him tonight would keep those Players' Championship hopes alive.
21.
Of course, I was also forgetting the shootout, Phil, wasn't I? That's also in the mixer before we go to Southport.
But you can rely on nothing at the shootout.
Six. 7. Ramble.
He's going quite deep in the cue balls. He's playing in the loose red. 3 or 4 cushions. Needs us to travel. Yeah, pretty good.
13.
Mr. Red across this top cushion to the same pocket early in frame 5. That led to O'Sullivan's 132 break.
Plant then cue ball in and out of bulk. Ah, well worked out. Needs a big bounce. Needs it to travel.
2.
No, not this time. No angle on the green. Well picked out. Yeah, let's think here. Is it worth just tickling in behind the green? Or should he put one safe? 32 the lead. I think for me, I'd probably put one safe. I don't think he'd get an opportunity from Ronnie. Tickling in behind it.
Well, putting the green safe saved his bacon in frame 4.
Another funky shot choice, long blue.
Liang Wenbo. 32.
He's unconventional, isn't he? Never quite know what shot he's going to play.
Not a good sign that. It didn't threaten. Really tense. Lots riding on this. We saw there in total playing time, he hadn't potted a ball for over 16 minutes.
And this is perfect to raid the orchard. He's got them. Is he on one? Don't think so.
5.
Probably just got too low on the pack. He probably wanted the apex one at the top, but yeah, it's gone wrong. Red safe, blue out of commission. Pink and black not easy.
Ronnie Sullivan. 5.
got the awkward red off the side cushion, but he's shaking his head because it's gone on the other side cushion. Not quite so close, but still awkward. And you can trace all of this back to the third frame. 2-0 up. In the balls, potted a red to middle, knocked in the black as well, very unluckily. And ever since, what was a stroll in the park has become a trudge through the mud.
Full well here, Liang. That lone red out in the right wing. He's liable to leave that, but he's hoping to push something safe playing this. Oh, the worst thing possible. The dreaded bump of the middle pocket.
Quickly, Tom Ford, 2-0 ahead. Dominated the second frame. Helped by a break of 54. Matt Selt in early trouble. The white's being cleaned, Alan. Was it a kick?
Difficult to tell, isn't it? I don't know whether Liang just assumed it was and got it cleaned. Either way, be amazed being back at the table so soon. I was about to say, actually, that half chance that Ronnie had there, if it had developed, it was actually a better chance than it might look. Black appear tied up, but I don't think it'd have been too long in getting them in the open. Potted one, opened the path to others, that kind of thing. Taking a red on this long one, nowhere near, needs some help. For a second, when I flicked this red, it just turned away at the last minute. It's finished in a position where Ronnie can do absolutely nothing with it. Forced him to take this red on. Is he playing for blue here? Oh, what a shot! What a shot! And especially as he, I don't like saying it, but he butchered that last long red attempt. That was excellent.
Given its timing, that's one of the shots of the tournament for me so far. Could it open a very lucrative door?
6.
Another nasty shot to play in the heat of a decider.
Yeah, that long pot in the blue, all the better, because those reds below the black, they would go to right corner if he was to miss it. Gone now. Big shot this. Oh, excellent. Very good. Not the journey, but the fast cloth will suit him, and the yellow bean off the spot here. Only other thing, though, he really does want the cue ball in the right half of the table if possible. He's going to play his hybrid lefty shot then. That's right up the cushion. Cleverly played for green there, didn't get over ambitious with a cue ball, so still looking for that one good positional shot, having got that red away. Spin, yes. Oh, this is beautiful. Played it lovely. All right. Still
6.
Not a gilt-edged chance to win frame and match, but those last couple of shots were dreamy. Wanted a bounce, didn't he? The pink there. I think he'd be okay playing the pink. I don't know if he's hampered by the other red. Bridge in terms. This kind of black that you play, you don't really want to play a cannon. But I think he's going to have to. Maybe screwing through the gap, 2 cushions for the top red. As I say, he just doesn't want to play a cannon.
For what it's worth, red in colour to hit the front.
24.
This is normally Ronnie's territory, his wheelhouse. But the way this match has gone, I just wonder, is there going to be another twist?
You remember at the tail end of frame 1, he had a little practice shot in the red along the cushion to the right corner. Wonder if that's about to, well, not so much pay a dividend, but just help him mentally if he decides to play on it. We're about to find out. Just high of straight then off the black. No.
Fought.
No. Think. Be getting on the red from there. He could, but no, he's not going to be playing the pot here, surely. It's not the way he likes to roll, playing a safety shot at this juncture, but playing this, he's going to have to stun it next to the pot. So tough.
Ronnie Sullivan, 47. In the white, yeah?
Just made contact with that top cushion, came away. And now Liang could be coming away with a victory. Not the best, not the best.
Yeah. Only one good thing about this pink, it looks a natural side cushion to drop in the yellow. Must get the pot obviously.
You won't see that in a coaching handbook. Lunged at it. Couldn't control upper body movement. It was involuntary, but it went in nevertheless. And that was a terrible piece of cueing also. Terrible. Nerves are consuming Liang Wenbo.
Yeah, there's the pink, the movement. Everything was moving. And once again, it's in the bridge hand. I honestly think he should have played for the green in the same pocket as the yellow. It's a better way of being able to punch the shot. Oh, he's played this lovely.
Yeah, Wenbo. 9.
Okay, he should have probably won the match at that visit, but at least he's got second prize. And this isn't a cinch hit.
Has he got the bottle? The green has not travelled enough.
Needs it to cease.
3.
Just overrun. 8 behind. Again, he's probably got second prize. He's got a really easy safety shot. And I think I fancy him getting the snooker. Yeah, well played. Good shot.
Wenbo. 3.
He's got it. Second prize once again then, but is he going to, in the end, the ultimate prize and win the match? It remains to be seen now. Ronnie wants to get this 2 cushions, not 1. Get the brown off the bulk cushion, send it down the other end.
Four. Miss.
Only thing
Wenbo. 4.
must admit, I thought that line's not. I'd be going the left side cushion and behind the brown. I think it's a better line. I wouldn't have thought there was room round the back of that there, would you? Good news is it doesn't really have any material effect on the frame. Sullivan 4 in front, but just to say again, I think left cushion would be the way, but I think he'll stick to his guns and play the same shot. No, he's switching. Yeah, this is the way I'd be going. I think I fancy him getting this off 2 cushions, playing it this way.
On a knife edge.
Look at disappointment on Ronnie's face there, because Liang can use the black as a stopper with the cue ball here, sending that brown into bulk. It's not the best. That is not the best, and it's going to bounce.
Cue ball very close to the top cushion. That's one thing in Liang's favour, about the only thing.
It's one of those, because you'd probably be playing it with a natural touch of left. I know you can't get a lot of side on it because you're on the cushion, but you'd be playing it with a natural touch of left, which means the cue ball drift to the right. If he misses it, he'd probably miss it thick. Oh, well played. Control to perfection.
For Ronnie O'Sullivan, this has been the night of living dangerously.
Nine. Thank you.
The thing to win. That was close. Too close for comfort. For the second match in succession, Ronnie O'Sullivan engages in brinkmanship, but he does beat Liang Wenbo